Here's a very sweet fold that does this nice curvy thing. It starts out as something like this, which folds all the way flat, and then after you make it, you turn it over and just tape some of the pleats together. It's just so pretty. So here's how it goes. I start off with a regular piece of copy paper and I cut it in half because I like this shape right here. The grain is going this way, which is good for this fold. I'm going to start off by dividing this in fifths. Doing something in fifths is not all that straightforward. And it doesn't have to be exact. I'm going to think it's about right there. What you can do is fold the paper over, and if you've got this side, this column is about 2 of these. You can check that or bring this over. That doesn't look quite right. I'm going to move it over a little bit. Do that. That looks a little bit better. Yeah, that looks fine. So that's 1/5. If I fold this over, it's 2 more fifths, and then I fold this one in half. And it doesn't really matter which way the folds go. What you just want to do is make the fold. So I've got 5 parts. I want to make these universal folds, which means I want to make sure that they go both ways. So the best way to do that is to make the fold very sharp and then reverse it. First on one end, then on the other, then go to the middle. And whichever way the fold is going, just reverse it. Starting at one edge, going to, and then the other edge, and go to the middle. Okay, now we're going to start doing a little bit of pleating, which means I'm going to take this. These are all actually should be sort of in a mountain fold position, but it doesn't matter because they should be going back and forth equally. I'm going to take this mountain fold here. I'm not going to bring it over. You might be able to see, hopefully you'll be able to see there's a fold here. I'm not going to bring it over exactly to that line. I'm going to maybe bring it 1/4 inch away. And, you know, it doesn't have to be exact, but you want it to go straight up. So now I'll take this fold, one of the original folds, bring it over to another one of the original folds, but again, about 1/4 inch away. So we're making regular pleats here, and you see there's a fold right here, and we're going to bring that over to this fold, but not all the way to it. There we go. And then this last fold we'll bring over to the edge. There we go. Okay, so we've got some good folds, and what I need to do is I need to make these new folds, folds into universal folds again. And sometimes it's hard to keep track. I'm just going to mark them because with all these folds here, sometimes it's a little bit hard to keep track of what's what. So make sure that the original one is nice and sharp, and then I reverse it. And making our pleats. There we go. Got all mixed up and started going in the wrong direction. And I think that's all of them. Okay. So now what I want to do is get it back into the pleat that we had just done. So making these little steps. There it is. Now, at this point, I usually just do this by eye. But the first few times it was sort of important for me to really see what I was doing. So I recommend that. What I'm going to do is, I'm starting here at this bigger end, and I'm making some diagonal lines. I'm going to want to make 3 diagonal lines. I want them all to start at this edge and end at this edge. And let's see, a nice big angle is good. These lines don't have to be parallel. They don't have to be evenly spaced. What you end up with will be what you end up with, and it'll look good. So those are the lines that actually I'm going to be folding on. So here it goes. And there's lots of ways to fold this, but this is a nice way using the ruler. And then I want to make it go the other way as well. And do that with all 3 folds. Okay, so now those are all universal folds. Now it's going to be a zigzag when I open it up. Do you see the zigzag folds? It comes down like this. And what you want to keep in mind here, there's a lot of back and forth. There's a lot of in and out things going on. It's sort of hard to keep track of. You need something to sort of wrap your brain around. And what I want you to think about is these zigzag folds at the top and the ones here at the bottom. They're all going to be mountain folds. They're all going to be coming up. And the ones here will be mountain folds only if I turn it over, which is what I'm going to do. So just think about folding these into mountain folds, and you'll see what the other folds start to do. They start to want to go in a particular direction. So I'm making these into mountain folds. I'm not being too fussy right now. I'm just sort of trying to get it to get the general shape. And when it's all done, I'll sort of squish it together, and I'm going to turn it over, and the middle will be mountain folds on the other side. And if you work with paper, this will come easy, and if you don't work with paper too much, you just sort of have to feel your way around it. When things are going the wrong way, they sort of pop in the right direction when you nudge them. See, I'm just focusing on making the mountain folds. I'm not worrying too much what happens to the other folds, but they seem to be finding their own way. There we go. I'm going to try to squish it together and see what happens. Again, focusing on just the zigzag folds. This one's giving me a little bit of a hard time. There it goes, just squished down. Looks kind of nice like that. Okay, and you've got your very cool fold. And if you want to turn it into a nice curvy thing, like I said, turn it over, put some of the pieces together, just use some tape back there. You got this really nice thing. Really looks complex and beautiful. Okay, there you go.